All right, welcome to another episode of Talkin Ball with Pat Leonard. Have a special guest today, Sterling Shepard, wide receiver for the New York Giants. First, need to tell you about Bet Online. The last of the major pro sports leagues is off and rolling, and college basketball is ready to go. Bet Online remains your top spot for all your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, and NHL are in full swing. Bet Online is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions. All the hoops betting action, along with your favorite sport, available at your fingertips with every desktop and mobile access at halftime. Head to Bet Online today and remember to use your promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. And now to the main event, the feature presentation. He is the 8-year veteran, 4,000 receiving yards, 23 touchdowns. Sterling Shepard, my man. I've been covering him since he got to the Giants and I got to the beat. It is great to have you here, man.
And appreciate you having me, dog.
Yeah, so just tell us. I know you teamed up with La Quinta by Wyndham for this La Quinta holiday hype machine. Can you just tell us what this is about? What's going on here for the holidays?
Yeah, so I teamed up with them. We did this hype machine. So you can go to laquinta.com/hype and you'll find a video of me. And this is basically just to hype up everybody. I know how hectic this season can be, the holiday season can be. I have kids running around. I have family coming in all the time. So this is for the people that need a little bit of that extra motivation to get going, and they can, get a video of me. I'm known to hype people up. So yeah, there's a couple of different videos that you can see on the website, and yeah, you can send them to your friends or use them for yourself.
Very
And
cool.
this is going to be starting on Monday the 13th, and that's through the end of the year.
All right. Yeah, you do bring the hype. You do bring the energy. And all right, real quick though, what's your top holiday activity, top Christmas activity? What's the thing at this time every year you get excited about?
Uh, this time of year, it's really just to see my family, man. I usually have everybody come into town, so it's always good being around family, people that you don't really get to see that much throughout the year. To get everybody together is kind of is a great feeling to me. So that's what I get hyped up about, is just getting to see everybody.
Same for me, man. Christmas Eve, family. Christmas Day is great, but Christmas Eve, you got the nerves going. You see family
Exactly.
you haven't seen in a while. That's
Yeah.
the top spot. All right, let's talk a little football. Not to bring the hype down, but we got to talk about your dog, a guy I respect and like very much, Daniel Jones. His season now over, tears his ACL. I mean, just as a friend, as a teammate, as a Giant, what was your reaction to seeing Daniel go down there?
Yeah, man, it was tough. I was watching the first play, and it kind of looked a little weird to me. Then obviously it happened that next play, the next uh, play. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
tough, man. Anytime you have a brother that goes down with injury, and especially a serious injury like that, and especially because I've been through those. I've been through two of them, and they can be dark and lonely. So knowing that they're going to be going through that, I think the thing that comes into my mind is just being that friend that's going to be there for them, and uh, you know, not really let them have any of those dark times. Just know that I'm there for them. So uh, yeah, it's tough business, but that's the way that it goes. And Daniel's so strong mentally that I know that he'll be able to get past this and overcome it.
What did you see as maybe his first reaction to all this? When the news came down, behind the scenes, like how was he handling it?
Honestly, I saw him right in the training room yesterday, and like he knew it. He had to get right to work. Like this is one of those things that you have to jump right on. You have to start beginning the strengthening process. And so I was just letting him know that if he had any questions on what I did, but like it's crazy because I saw him on the bike and I remember having to do that same thing.
Wow.
Um, but it's really like it's a want to. Some guys want to just take a day break or take a couple of day break. He was right at it, and so that's the mentality that you have to have.
No, it's good perspective because right when it happens, these kind of injuries, it's easy to put your head down and say it's over. But you've proven, other guys have proven it's not. But you put a lot of sweat in behind the scenes that nobody sees to get back onto the field like you are. And that's really good point, kind of to be there for Daniel. Staying with the hype being a little bit lower than we would like. Xavier McKinney, your teammate, kind of made some comments about how he felt communication wasn't great between the leaders of the team and the coaches. And you and I both know when losing happens, things can split apart, whether it's in a locker room, in a team. Just wondering from your perspective, do you think there is any kind of lack of belief in what, Joe Shane and Brian Dable and the staff are doing right now from the locker room? Where do you think that type of sentiment is coming from?
Nah, it be coming from a little bit of frustration, which everybody has the right to be frustrated. And I think we just got to do a good job as leaders of trying to keep everything in house and in with us, because at the end of the day, we're the only people that can turn this thing around and fix it. So, sometimes, when you get frustrated, you say some things that you may not necessarily mean or taken out of context. So, I'll let him speak on that stuff. But I think as a leader of this team and one of the leaders of this team, I think that it's important for me to get back into the locker room and for all of us to get back into the locker room and just let the message be known that we got to stick together through this. Because like you said, I've been here for a while and I've been through a couple of different teams. And, when stuff starts to get out like that, it can be divisive. So
Yeah.
I want to, yeah, I mean, we'll be okay. Guys are just frustrated, which they have all the right to be. But we got to be the ones to be able to fix this thing, and he understands that. He knows that. So I don't think that it's too big of a deal. We'll be all right.
Well, see, you hit on something that I've believed from the jump this season is that, especially like if things have struggled or the offense has struggled or the locker room needs a boost, like you're one of the guys who needs to be featured, focused on, prominently included in game plans, prominently included in these team breakdowns to keep the energy up like you can so well, but also to keep the play and the performance up too, because frankly, you got to score points to win. And so I'm wondering, I know I've taken your temperature on this throughout the year a lot, and it probably gets tiresome for you. But I imagine not playing as much is more tiresome. And so my question for you is like, how are you handling this reduced role, especially knowing that like if you're out there playing the snaps that you always have throughout your career, that you will make a difference both on the field and, once you come into the locker room, halftime, post game, whatever it is.
Uh, yeah, man, it's been tough. I've never been in this position as long as I've been playing. But you just gotta kind of roll with it. I mean, I've gone through phases where I'm super frustrated, and it shows to my teammates, and that's the last thing. Like when I think about
Hmm.
being on a team, it's being a teammate, and nobody wants to be around somebody who's just in the dumps all the time about their personal situation. So I kind of just had to tell myself, like, you got to look at the bigger picture, and you know, you can't show that to your teammates. So
Gotcha.
I've always been a guy to uplift everybody and to have that energy. So as tough as it's been, I try to find a way to do that every day, and still deal with my feelings in the way I feel. But all I can do is bust my ass every day at practice, and try to get an opportunity or some opportunities here and there. And when my number is called, I gotta make it happen. Like I don't really have much room for error, like I've had in the past. Uh,
Mm.
so you know what I mean? That's just the way it goes. But that's just the nature of this business. And you go through different phases throughout your career. Like back in the day, I probably had a little bit more room for error, but not so much anymore. But whenever my number is called, and whatever the guys need from me is really where my focus has been for the past couple of weeks. And yeah,
Small margin for error also puts a lot of pressure on those snaps, right? Like people are human. And if you know that you're playing 60 snaps on a day,
right.
maybe a
You have a
drop.
chance.
Right.
Yeah, you have a chance to. That's always like what I've done. If I had a drop, it's like, okay, I'll be all right. Like I'm about to just make something big happen, and then everybody forgets about the drop.
No doubt.
But if you only got 3 snaps in the game, you got to make the most of those 3 snaps. And yeah, like you said, but that's just the way this is, man. It's like you either deal with the pressure and come alive, or you don't. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's what position I'm in, and I try to be grateful and thankful in every position that I'm in. So, I try to find ways to do that.
All right, a couple more quick ones. I know you are busy, with the Giants, with your schedule, with the family, with La Quinta. So a couple more, and we'll get you right out of here. I appreciate your time here on the Talkin Ball podcast. You mentioned being a great teammate. You know who comes to mind for me? Saquon Barkley, and how he's handled everything from his contract situation to the way the team is right now to the role he is in. Even to the point where going into the Raiders game, Saquon essentially doubled or tripled down on the idea that he envisions himself as a lifelong Giant, as a guy who is, the next Eli, the next Strahan, the next Tiki. Just want to know, as a guy who's so close with him and such a great friend as Saquon's, and also has shared the highs and lows on the field with him, what do you think of how he has gone through this process and maybe where he wants to go through all this?
Yeah, I would let him speak on where he wants to go, but how he's handled everything. I mean, we talk about handling things like a pro, and the man has handled it like a true pro. There's been times where other guys are like they don't even know how he's handling it that way. But that's just what type of guy Saquon is, and like he's the ultimate teammate. He motivates. He during the tough times, he's the one that gets up and gives the speeches to the team, and every single word is felt. Like, you can see how much heart and passion that he plays with. Like, there's not too many people that can handle a coach coming in or somebody coming in and telling them, "Look, you gotta take this game over," and then they go out and they do exactly that. Like, it's not too many people you can do that. Like, a lot of people can have that talk, like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out. Yeah, I got you, coach. I got you." Nah, he doesn't say anything. He just goes and does it, bro. Like, he's just special, generational talent. Like, there's no other way to put it.
Damn. No, that's so well said. All right, final one, on that same wavelength of career Giant, back in the spring, I talked to some people who kind of told me that John Mara and the Giants, like, they value you, which I already knew, but they value you as a person, as a player, but as a Giant. And that, whenever the day comes that you hang up those cleats, and hopefully it's a long time from now, that you would have a long-term role in the organization for what we're talking about today, the hype, the energy, the passion that you bring to the organization. That's not just about the sideline. It's about how you show up every day, how I see you in the locker room, how people see you walk in there. What does it mean to you to have heard that? And then, is that something you want as well? Do you view yourself as career Giant, long-term Giant, almost the way I think of a guy like, Victor Cruz, kind of the way he's become like a larger than life person, post career, based on what he's done with the Giants and what he's continued to do.
Yeah, I mean, we've had two completely different careers, but yeah, I mean, I love this organization, man. Like, from top to bottom, everybody upstairs to view. I love everybody in that building, and I'm very appreciative and grateful for Mr. Mara and how he's been for me throughout my career. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to go give anybody else or any other franchise my time or my energy. If I was to do that anywhere, it would be here with the Giants. Just because of all that I've been through and how they've always had my back. They were the ones who gave me a chance and drafted me. And yeah, I mean, I've always tried to handle things on and off the field the right way. And I think that's the reason I'm in the position that I'm in now. So, like I said, I'm grateful.
Excellent, Shep. That is Sterling Shepard. He's here with La Quinta by Wyndham and the La Quinta Holiday Hype Machine. Go check that out. We are sponsored here on the Talkin Ball podcast by Bet Online and by Estate 98 Coffee. It's Esencia de Cafe from El Salvador. dating back to 1798. Takes 3 seconds to make. I drink it all the time when I'm doing Talkin Ball. Gives me energy, not as much energy as Sterling Shepard provides day in and day out with the Giants and with La Quinta. Shep, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.